Base to Rover 6, can you give us a comm check, please? Comm check.
I read you, Base.
Okay, at this time, we need you to return to the dungeon.
Hello, friends. My name is Daniel. I am a still life painter, a visual storyteller. I express this by what I refer to as my kingdom. Founded upon Origami Dragons, the kingdom is simply my imaginary world revealed in paint, emphasizing, hopefully, good old-fashioned creativity.
Well, that's just fascinating.
Here are some examples of that work. I begin my paintings with no preliminary drawing or tracing. I set these scenarios up in front of me and paint from life. So, you can imagine that the setup process is of utmost importance. But first things first.
Commander, would you please summon your subconscious flow?
Subconscious flow.
Roger that. All systems go. Looking good.
I have anticipated this sort of subject matter for quite some time. You see, given that the kingdom is limited only by my imagination, it can go anywhere, and anywhere includes the deepest, darkest, farthest reaches of outer space, where fruit bowls dare not go.
Commander, be advised, at this time we do not see a fruit bowl.
Commander to base, roger that. To assist me in my pursuits, I keep a wide variety of props on hand, including various cloths, patterned and unpatterned alike. This silver cloth I've had for quite some time, waiting for the proper context to use it, and this is certainly it. Its wrinkled, lightweight foil appearance is partly evocative of rock structures, but certainly associated with space travel. I have always been attracted to sort of big, fantastic ideas.
I heard that.
Like many kids, the idea of being an astronaut was compelling.
Tell it.
I wore out that section of my World Book Encyclopedia.
Right on.
I also had a cheap telescope, and I would sit in my driveway and stare at the moon. Naturally, this led to some model rocketry. That's about as close as I ever came to the moon, until now. And I'm so glad you're joining me on this journey. Best of all, perhaps, it won't cost you anything but your time. And if you are ultimately disappointed, send in 6 box tops and I will refund your time in full. I know a wizard.
Affirmative, Commander. We can verify that.
It's not at all uncommon for me to construct props that do not exist. But in this case, I'm using much more familiar objects. Placed into a particular context, these familiar objects become visual metaphors, hopefully contributing to something greater than themselves. Hopefully, a work of art.
A work of art.
Though heavily edited, this video demonstrates my searching.
We're looking for what is special.
I am finding my way, seeking what is special, evaluating how the objects interact with one another, their juxtaposition, their color harmonies, how each item contributes to the greater whole. I'm very interested in the use of light and shadow, all of which assist me in my pursuit of visual drama. Though it is quite subtle in this instance, that blue bottle is producing something that I'm very fond of, what I refer to as luminous shadows. The blue glow within the shadow itself.
Find what is special.
These luminous shadows can be tricky to represent in paint, but I feel like they are very rewarding to the eye. And, like the Origami Dragons, they are something I am known for. This simple window device, cut to the 16 by 20 proportions of the panel I will be working on, is extremely useful during this process. It's invaluable in helping me see the painting to come. The window assists me in the overall design.
Show does.
Particularly helping me decide where the frame of reference will be broken. In other words, helping me determine how the objects within the painting will contact the edges of the image.
Commander, we need to report a variety of triangle shapes.
Roger that, Base. I can confirm triangle shapes. I never really set out intending to compose in triangle shapes, but I end up there over and over again.
Sure do.
It's interesting, at least personally, as a mature artist, to look back and recognize tendencies. Whether you intended them or not, these tendencies define you. Here again, I am doing my best to envision, to see the painting to be. Considering the subject at hand, I am getting out a small collection of toys that may assist me in this setup. I'll give each of them a chance. This is, after all, a spontaneous process. At any given moment, I am prepared to give way to a better idea. I said a better idea. Ooh, look at you.
Sweet thing.
My wife made this alien out of some sort of cosmic clay and lunar dust. It looks like it needs something to do. That astronaut figure is a very cheap toy, but I just absolutely love his gesture. On a certain level, it's not necessarily what you have, but what you can do with what you have. As mentioned, Origami Dragons are the very backbone of the kingdom. Though they're not included in every kingdom painting, they are a through line, a muse of sorts. I have a variety of them here in the dungeon. This one's silver surface reacts well with the cloth. I'll let you in on a little secret. It's folded out of a hamburger wrapper. A space burger, of course. All of these little objects were tried, but there's something about that little robot. When all was said and done, he won the part. A supporting role, but none less valuable, and he never complained that he didn't have any lines. The same cannot be said for the dragon. What a lip flapper it is. Hardly ever shuts up, constantly throwing in unnecessary ad-libs, and always demanding more close-ups. Not to mention its behavior at the crafts food table. Gets away with it too, 'cause it's just so good. If it seems as though I'm making a substantial amount of tiny adjustments, I am.
You poor thing.
But this effort is rewarding in the long run. My method of manipulating paint is laborious and relatively slow. It takes me a long time to produce a painting. I begin by drawing in paint, then gradually building up the image over time, largely by means of what I call stipple glazing. Along with familiar methods of painting, stipple glazing is something that I developed on my own over time. I did not invent this process, but I did develop it on my own in isolation. Given the time taken to produce one of my paintings, justifies all the effort and time put into the setup process. I will be committed to this image for months.
Giant pain.
No, it's not a pain. It's a pleasure. But it is a massive time commitment. It's worth mentioning that once I have the setup complete, I don't then simply go about copying what is in front of me, but trying to translate what is in front of me into a higher state when rendered into paint. I hope to affect my viewers. I hope to reach you viscerally. I hope to reward you for taking the time to interact with my work. My artistic pursuits, including the music you are listening to, are everything to me, and have been so my entire life.
My goodness.
The creative process and the results have brought me unsurpassed joy and satisfaction in my life. They're centered upon my core, the maker's spirit that I was born wired with. I believe that the playful qualities in my work, including certainly having fun with the audio in these videos, is directly linked to that core, what I regard as sort of 8-year-old me. By means of visual storytelling and staying directly in touch with that core, I hope to demonstrate that still life painting can be exciting and vibrant, anything but boring. We are definitely zeroing in on this subject.
Just don't screw it up.
As I am constantly challenging myself, I hope to challenge you creatively, to raise the bar, to push yourself, whatever your pursuit. Something wonderful might happen. And if it does, the world becomes a more wonderful place. As we inspire one another, magical, beautiful things are brought into existence. And here we have it.
Commander, we're showing a design tangency. Can you confirm?
Here's an opportunity to point out a tangency of the tip of the tail of the dragon to that rocket. I'll simply solve that in the painting itself.
Roger that.
One necessary adjustment from the setup to the painting.
Just don't screw it up.
The title of the painting to be Sunrise on a Secret Moon Base. Thank you for joining me on this extensive journey and for visiting the pitch black deep depths of my cosmic deepness.
Roger that.